one of you. The objective of today's lecture is to cover the current issues which good evening Sudha and good evening everybody, to discuss a lot of topics, and I want to cover mainly the topic which is in news, though there are many topics, and specifically I want to cover and give you clarity on what the conflict that is going on. So if you see the list of topics that we're going to cover today in this week, so we have a detailed list. Some lists are very basic, but I am more concerned about this topic, the China's assertion in Ladakh, and I believe a lot of you must be having a lot of doubts. So there are a lot of issues with India and China, and being one of the favorite areas of one of my favorite areas in what is going around, and in terms of the curiosity. So I'll give a deep insight to what is going on and what India wants and what China wants, and little in the history also, the historical background, कि ये problem कहाँ से start हुआ, and where this problem will go and what is the solution. Then we have some some issues like, again, there is a news, IE, that is International Atomic Energy Agency. Then there is a nuclear stockpiles has been in news. So there are three topics are very important from the international point of view, and which will be the major focus. Other news are more like current basic news, or which you can just read and understand. For example, the other news. So I'm more concerned about these three topics. So I'll be taking in detail, and I'll be taking you little in the history. For example, India China का जो problem है वो क्यों हो रहा है, and what is the history behind this? The nuclear stockpile का history क्या है? And we'll start right from Second World War, right from Hiroshima and Nagasaki, जब से वो चीजें start हुई. And International Atomic Energy Agency, what is the role? The Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, because this is also in news coming again and again. Then of course, so these are the three topics which I'll be covering today, and the objective is to get you a deep insight. And as student of UPSC, I believe you would be a lot of things would be expected from you, not only in the mains but in the interviews. These are the very important topics in the interview questions also. If I give an example, in the current interviews of January, February, or March, believe me, a lot of questions are on the international relations. So every student should be very thorough on these areas, and not only in terms of map work, what is going around, what are the problems, the historical reason, and of course when you go in the news आप में जब देखते हो तो वहाँ पे बहुत आपको limited information मिलता है, because they trying to sensationalize the news, so they do not focus on the real ground realities. So let's understand. So these are the topics that I want to cover. I'll start with the first, this topic, that is what lies behind China's assertion in Ladakh. So I'll start with this topic directly. This is the first topic I'll take in the end, and this payment issue is also very basic. So again, I'll take it at the end. So what is the problem between India and China? So let's understand the dynamic between the problem that we are witnessing. Let's go a little in the history, and that history was, I would say, almost 110 years ago. In fact, little before than that as well. So why China? What China wants, what Chinese regime want, what India wants, and why this problem is flaring up again and again. ये problem बार-बार क्यों आ रहा है? Why don't we have a solution? India is such a big country. India is such a resourceful nation, and so is China. Of course, China is much bigger in terms of every aspect. So हम India China का issue को हम resolve क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं? Why don't we finish it for once and all, so that we can sit with peace and focus on our economic development in other areas? So थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री में चलते हैं. I'll post the video. Now here पहले समझते हैं, थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री समझते हैं. यहाँ पे थोड़ी जगह कम है, so I'll take in the next slide. So let's go a little in the history. So China and India. So India and China are very old, almost more than 2000 old civilization, both the countries. Okay, and we had an ancient trade connection as well. And India and China were very strong economy. In fact, if I tell you, in 17th century, India and China together, they accounted for around 60% of the world GDP. Okay, so and India also was, China was rather bigger, little more than India. So that was the reality. The global dynamics changed because the industrial revolution happened in these countries. It started from England, वहाँ से start हुआ, industrialization started, and the power dynamics shifted to the European nations, USA, and all the countries like India and China. We were ruled by these countries, और हमारी country के अंदर भी the people who were ruling, they had a feudal approach, and there were multiple, the consolidation of one power structure like what was Mughal बाद में decline हो गया. तो वो सारा जो 17th century के बाद there was a decline in India and China, and naturally countries which are European nations led by England, France, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, all these people, they try to control the whole world, and they try to make the other countries colonies. India also became so. So India have a very strong historical background as well in terms of civilization, and naturally in different periods of time. For example, the India that we have today, we cannot say with certain, we cannot say that this was the India which has been created in 1950. That is what you read in the history books of Britishers. Yes, the modern nation state जो आज देखने को मिल रहा है, that is of course that has formed under British rule. But India as a country in whole, a big country was, वो पहले भी historically आप history में पढ़ोगे, Harsha rule हो या फिर the rule during the ancient period was always there, was also there, and so is the case of China. But coming to the dynamics of today, अगर अभी की याद करते हैं, so if you, this is the major, यहाँ पर आप दो reason देखो यहाँ पर. So this is is a claim, this is India's Jammu and Kashmir that we as per our map, and यहाँ पर दो जो है reason है, this region, so I'll mark it number 1, and the second region is region 2. Okay, so इसमें मुझे, I'll take half an hour to explain this, so keep your just listen the story and understand everything. Okay, कहीं doubt होगा, I'll take the doubt in the end. So let's understand the the problem. अब problem से पहले हम सोचते हैं कि हुआ क्या है historically. So historically, before maybe during the 18th century or 19th century, India as well as Britain, we came under the control of Chinese regime. India and China both came under the control of British regime, and during Second World War a lot of things changed. But before Second World War, 1910 tak, China was ruled by a dynasty called Jing dynasty. Okay, and that that broke down, वो टूट गया, dynasty ended, and when this dynasty ended, Tibet was a part of it. So on and off between Tibet and some other region, they were part of China and they were not part of China, like that. Things used to happen. So under Jing dynasty, that ended in 1910, and Tibet became independent. Now Tibet was a different place culturally, and Tibet एक अलग area था. They used to follow Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, which actually उसका जो root है, historical root है, वो India से ही हुआ. And these were the region, high mountains were there, so we had a lot of passes. यहाँ बहुत सारे passes है where people could travel easily. So that was, so trade also used to happen. जब Jing dynasty ended, so Tibet became independent, and they called themselves an independent nation rather. During this time, British was ruling in India, and British wanted to solve the problem of border. Now remember, around this time, the high mountains, or we don't have the modern technology. We did not have the modern technology जो आज हमें देखने को मिल रहा है. So इस time क्या था? High mountains. Who's going at high mountain? Who's going at 17,000, 18,000 feet? Practically impossible to survive. Now, if you talk about these areas, if I talk about these areas, so these are a very high desert. ये पूरा लद्दाख से लेके ये जो पूरा area है, these are desert, very cold deserts, high and then if you go थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाओगे, there is a Pamir Nord roof of the world, and you have so many mountain valleys, mountains. यहाँ पर there's a Himalayas are there from here. Then we have Karakoram is there, the Hindu Kush is there. So we have a lot of mountain ranges that is ranging around in India, and of course even that goes into China as well. So this was a very difficult terrain, and dividing the line where one starts. So वो officially जो है बैठ के कभी resolution हुआ नहीं. So here in 1915, Britain tried to resolve it. Britain, Tibet, and China also became the third party, because during this time Britain was independent, and McMahon line was created, and this McMahon line was created by British. So Tibet agreed with Britain that okay, this is McMahon line, and what anything under McMahon line will be India, and rest would be Tibet, that is you. China was also a party in terms of that discussion, because there was a time when Tibet was a part of China. So जब ये जो पूरा discussion हो रहा था, China, the Chinese people who were controlling that part, the China, those Chiang Shek करके जो है उनका जी था जो रूल कर रहा था चाइना को, नेशनलिस्ट चाइनीज. So they did not accept the agreement and they left the discussion. But Tibet and Britain, they came to conclusion and they accepted McMahon Line. Now this Chiang Shai, Shak dynasty, the nationalist Chinese who were ruling the China around that time, they started to become weak. And after Second World War, in China, the communist revolution happened. So in this communist revolution, which culminated in 1949, so ये जो communist revolution हुआ, so China, People's Republic of China करके इन्होंने बनाया, and they eliminated the Chiang Shai dynasty और उनको eliminate कर दिया. And here communist government came into picture with Mao Zedong as the leader. So you must have come across word called Maoism. So Mao Zedong is one of the very, very famous communist leader in the history of whole communist and socialist movement. So Mao Zedong was their leader. Maybe you can say father of the modern China, father of the China as well. Okay, so he ruled the country, and he ruled till the time he died in late 70s, 76 I think he died. So he ruled the country. Communist revolution happened, and China China came under the government. There's a communist government. Now China, if you remember China, so here China hai, and China where it is end, there is a Taiwan also. So the ruling dynasty, the Nationalist Party, they left China and they controlled the Taiwan. So they moved to Taiwan. So modern day Taiwan, जो आपको नजर आता है, that was they were the rulers who were eliminated from China. जो पहले historically the rulers they were eliminated from China and they went to Taiwan. But Taiwan was not accepted as a country by many people. By many, in fact, India was one of the first countries which recognized the communist China, and we did not recognize Taiwan. Okay, so and China considers Taiwan as their own part. They're just saying that they feel that okay, this part should be we will take hold of this area till the time till we have the real power. Okay, so Mao Zedong came into picture. Now Mao Zedong is a communist, and he was a communist leader, and they did anything and everything. Now remember, mark my word, Chinese, the current Chinese communist disposition, the government, they believe that anything and everything, kuch bhi, whichever was part of China historically should be today also that should be a part of China. So maybe 300 years ago something was a part of China, but it is not today in the mainland of China. So that should be taken control by the communist government, and that should become the China. So Mao Zedong believed that Tibet is a part of China. Okay. Similarly, so there are two regions. So there is a region called Xinjiang. Okay, so Xinjiang. So this region is a Xinjiang. So two is Xinjiang. Okay, and of course one is Tibet. Now Tibet, the ethnic Tibet, the Tibetan people, they were different from the actual Chinese who lived. And in China, Han Chinese are major ethnic groups. So these people lived. And Tibetans were different. They followed their own culture, though in terms of race, they were the same people. But in terms of the culture and belief system, language, everything was different. So Tibet was here, and Tibet was a free country. But communist government under Mao Zedong believed that Tibet is a part of China, and hence it should be taken. We will take Tibet under control. Similarly, Xinjiang was also historically a part of China. Xinjiang भी historically China का part था. So now Xinjiang, यहाँ पर there is a ethnic Uyghur. These are Muslims of Central India, and they have a Turkish origin. So there are Muslims of Central India, and they have a kind of a Turkish roots. So these Xinjiang was also came under the control. So China controlled Xinjiang, and China took control of the Tibet as well. Now remember, China flatly refused that we would not accept the McMahon Line decided by Britain and Tibet. And they made competing claims based on historical maps, maybe 200 or 3 years ago, that this is your area. Naturally, the lines were not divided as properly. The McMahon Line was based on how do you decide that this is your part and this is my part? So usually what they used to follow, a basic rule of thumb is that highest ridge, okay, the highest ridge or highest point, you can say the mountainous point koi hoga. So that would be the dividing line. Okay, so whatever is the highest point, that would be the dividing line, and maybe that highest point would be a buffer zone. Anything above, anything at one side would be maybe China, and other side would be India. But McMahon Line was not accepted by China during in the region of Tibet. Though Tibet accepted McMahon Line in other regions. उन्होंने other regions को accept किया, but they did not accepted McMahon Line in the region of Tibet, the vicinity of Tibet. One more thing, Mao Zedong believed that Tibet is a part of China, and they started a process of controlling Tibet, and they annexed Tibet. In the next 1 decade, they took control of Tibet. Now, one more thing, communist people, they have a very expansionist, ideology. So they believe they believe that there should be large, everything, should be, part of China. So they have an expansionist mindset. So they try to expand and they try to control a lot of other part of the world. For example, you can see what is happening in Hong Kong, what is happening in Taiwan, what is happening in South China Sea. So there are multiple issues of China. So that I'll take in the coming lectures. In coming next week, I'll be taking one more issue of China. So, so Mao Zedong and the communist regime believed that whatever was historically a part of China, maybe 200 years ago, should again be a part of the new China, and the People's Republic of China, should be controlling that part. And remember, they do not believe in democracy. They have a single party system. They follow a system called Chinese communism. They follow, okay, or you can say Chinese socialism, okay. And they say that we do not have that Marxian socialism belief system. So they do not conform to the modern ideals of democracy, the democracy that we see in India or in Western European nations or in the other developed nations. So that is what Mao Zedong said, and Mao Zedong believed that Tibet is a part of China. Now here, Jawaharlal Nehru and Mao Zedong, Jawaharlal Nehru believed that Tibet will be a buffer zone, and whatever is after Tibet is China, and whatever is after Tibet, one side China, other side India. Now, but moment Mao Zedong, the leader of maybe their father, you can say, he believed that Tibet is a part of China. So that kind of created problems and doubt in the mind of Jawaharlal Nehru. But Jawaharlal Nehru was more of like China is a new country, communist country, and remember that was a period in late 40s and 50s. You saw a lot of communist countries growing across the world. So you saw a rise of USSR, you saw a rise of China, you saw a rise of North Korea, you saw a rise of East European nations. All these nations were driven by socialist ideology or communist ideology, or followed a Lenin-based Marxian Lenin ideology. China followed a different ideology under Mao Zedong, though the historical root was again the Karl Marx ka jo ideology tha. So that is how these countries were created. So we saw in the world two kind of power groups. One was the communist government, and other was the other people, so-called, you can say, the capitalist nations or developed nations or West European nations and USA mein jo the. So that is how we saw. So world was changing, and Indian leaders, most of the Indian leaders, they had a lot of sympathy for communist system, because communist system talk about equality, communist system talks about welfare. Communist system ne bola ki hum sabko, we'll give the food to everybody, we'll give job to everybody, we'll take care of everybody, welfare is the key. Unlike the opposite system had what? The system was the capitalist system, where rich controlled things. So that was the problem, that was there, it was witnessed. So Indian leaders who the, if you see the historical, right, 50s and 60s, right, 1920s, 30s, 40s, right after Dadabhai Naoroji. In fact, Dadabhai Naoroji also believed in the socialist ideology. So what is socialist ideology? Socialist ideology is a ideology which believes that welfare, government should control everything, and welfare should be the prime objective. And in a society, everybody should be equal. Society mein sabhi log barabar hone chahiye, sab log barabar ho, and everything should control by government. So that was the belief system, which means there is no concept of private property or private land or private income concept nahi hoga, which is basically a Western idea. So we had a liking. So Nehru and all these people, the new leaders of India, the modern leaders, they had sympathy toward USSR or China, because these were new countries, becoming a new nation. So India kind of started cozying up with China, and that okay, a new country is coming, so we should be friendly to them. However, when the China started making claim the areas, like they first said we would not accept McMahon Line, we would not accept Tibet. Then Mao Zedong said one more thing. He said that Tibet is naturally a part of China, but even northeast frontier area, that is, which is modern day Arunachal Pradesh, that is also South Tibet. Okay, so he said this part should also be, naturally this part was under India's control. Similarly, they were competing claims for Sikkim as well. Okay, so he wanted Sikkim also. So he believed that Sikkim, parts of Nepal, Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh, Ladakh, Tibet, Xinjiang, everything should be part of China. That is what he believed, because जो communist people होते हैं उनका एक expansionist belief system होता है. They want to control, and they believe that they should be a part of China. So that is how this is the history. So problem started from here. Now यहाँ तक सबको समझ में आया, I believe you got some basic understanding. Now I'll erase this and I'll write more things. So in 1950s to 1959 to be precise, Tibet was annexed by China. Okay. So when Tibet was annexed by China, so the spiritual leader of Tibet, because they did not follow a modern system of democracy, or they had a more of a feudal system where spiritual leader Dalai Lama used to rule. So Dalai Lama with his people, they left and they came to India and they sought asylum. Unko asylum chahiye tha, because they felt that it is very difficult to trust the Chinese government or Chinese people. So India gave, and in Dharamshala they came. So Dharamshala is a place in Himachal Pradesh. So they came and they found a refuge in Dharamshala. Though India said that you cannot do political activities, you can live here, but you cannot do political activities. So they came. Now, naturally, giving a political, maybe asylum or giving a space to somebody from other countries, something of a natural, international, it's like a, maybe you can say gesture which is done by many countries. So when these people, China got very furious. Now China started saying that, I have to, control the areas which were historically mine. So first they did not accepted the McMahon line. उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो McMahon line है, so we will not accept. Now what is your area? Then again, so Mao Zedong came with the theory of that Tibet is palm. Okay, Tibet is palm and it has 5 fingers. So you have a palm and you have 5 fingers, right? So he said 5 fingers. One is Bhutan, one is Ladakh, one is Nepal, one is of course Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and one more thing he mentioned, maybe Sikkim, I think. So he said these are 5 fingers that needs to be that needs to be in the control of China. Now, at what area and what length, that is of course we do not know what his theory was, but that is what his documents and his theory started saying. Now remember, what communist people do, how they control people and how they kind of develop this nationalist fervor. Okay, so this is our area and it is controlled by India, so I have to take that area. So people will forget the local issues and they will start supporting the nationalist government. So that is the approach, and Tibet is wanted that this should be resolved and we should take control. Naturally, many of these areas were controlled of India, many of the areas were in control of Nepal. Bhutan was an independent country. So taking everything in control, and China was not a very strong nation around that time. Today China is a very different and strong nation. So the problem started and the differing opinions between India and China started happening. Now how do we resolve that? That is a big challenge. What China said, that there are 2 regions. So this is region 1 and this is region 2. So one is of course Tibet and second is Xinjiang. Now remember, these are 2 areas which were earlier not in the control of China, and China forcefully controlled these areas. So when you forcefully control an area, people will be unhappy, people will not be happy. So people start opposing China, और China को लोगों ने oppose करना start कर दिया. The local population, the local Tibetis, the local Xinjiang people, they start opposing China. So when they started opposing China, so what they did, the communist people are very brutal. So they use force. There is no democracy. You will be executed if you go against the government, and that is what normal process they did. But one thing they found, that these are very high mountains. Remember this whole area, this is Tibet, very high mountain. But in this mountain, this is a very important land called Askai Chin. Okay, and this Askai Chin is like a flat table. It's like at a high altitude, it's like a flat table. Okay, it's a cold desert, flat table. It is at a height of probably 18,000 feet. So China started doing, that they felt that this can be a very strategic region, which has a very strong relevance for countries territorial point of view. So उन्होंने कहा कि, and they started building road here, claiming that this is Ladakh and this part of India, so they started making road here, and they start building road here. Naturally, Indian government कहाँ तक होगा, यहाँ तक Indian government का presence होगा. High mountains में there were practically no infrastructure, anything. And so the idea behind Askai Chin was that Askai Chin is linking two troubled, unstable region of China, which are not in direct control of China, and these are like autonomous region. Even today, Tibet and Xinjiang are autonomous region. And what they believe that eventually, in long period of time, अगले कुछ decades में, what we'll do that we'll try lot of new methods to control these areas. We'll force the Han Chinese here, ठीक है, Han Chinese को यहाँ force कर देंगे. We'll change the demography here. Demography means आप population change कर दोगे वहाँ का population. Okay, you will bring people from all mainland China to these areas, and naturally, when they will be in majority or their numbers will increase, the whole dynamics will change. So that is how they do. So same is the case with Hong Kong. Same is the case with Xinjiang. So this is Askai Chin became a strategic region because it was linking the two troubled region of China, that is Xinjiang and of course Tibet. And when they made road, India came to know when they made the road, and India objected. India ने object किया, and India made an objection. And here in the initial maybe decade of Nehru's policy, we did not focus on army. हमने army का modernization या army के strengthening पे focus नहीं किया. And we did not focus on making infrastructure on the the India side of the China, in India side of Jammu and Kashmir and all. So ये हमने नहीं किया. But China started building road here and they controlled. And then when India objected, India started to use force. China were mentally prepared and ready because they knew that India will object. Now remember, India is a democracy, and in a democracy, people are accountable. Okay, people are accountable. Government is accountable to people. So Prime Minister is accountable, and Prime Minister cannot give him even a small piece of land to China. आप China को एक छोटा सा land भी नहीं दे सकते. Why? Because people will go angry. So here Nehru opposed, and he said it is a part of ये हमारा part है. This part is of course was taken during the part of when Jammu and Kashmir or 1947-48 में जो problem हुआ था. So that has a different history. So Askai Chin, the war happened in India and China in 62, and India was defeated hands-on because India was not ready. And here military also in India, military gave advice to our Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, saying that China is strong and has made, and they have prepared for this war. वो पहले से तैयार हैं. They know that this might happen in coming years or 5 years or 10 years down the line. So we should be ready. So they started building infrastructure. They started building road. They started building ammunition. They started preparing themselves for the war. India, on the contrary, we tried to cozy up with China with Panchsheel. तो हमने theory of Panchsheel came. Okay, Panchsheel was a foreign policy. A foreign policy, you can say, a theory which believed that India should and neighbors should live together. They should help each other. They should respect each other, territorial integrity, and so on and so forth. Hindi Chini bhai bhai, and all these things came in 1950s. But remember, Chinese were very shrewd, and they were parallelly preparing for the next level of challenge as well. And when they attacked, India was surprised with this attack because India was not ready. India tried to force Chinese to leave the region, and they went inside and they controlled this region. Similarly, they also went to other region in the northeast area. Okay, but they did not took much of India in the northeast area. That is in the area of Arunachal Pradesh. They mostly took this area because ये उनके लिए बड़ा strategic था. This point was very strategic. So India got defeated in 1962, and then India realized that Chinese cannot be trusted. And in fact, the Mao Zedong के जो junior थे, deputy थे, Zhou Enlai. So Zhou Enlai, he was in most of the discussion with Jawaharlal Nehru, and he, many times he said that Askai Chin is ours and we have to take. But in a democracy, even he gave an option. And that is, I'm not sure what is the correct thing, but I've read it from various sources. He gave an option also that you take the Askai Chin हमें आप दे, and let's जो बाकी border है उसको हम लोग define कर लेते हैं. But Askai Chin will be our, and reason is why Askai Chin, because Askai Chin is very strategic for us. It is linking the two troubled region of China, and we need that area because यहाँ पे बहुत ही high altitude mountains हैं. So practically moving is very difficult, but this is possible. Now Nehru said that only way that is possible if I agree to this agreement, and I have to leave my prime ministership. मुझे हटना पड़ेगा. That was the only possibility. He did not agree, and Chinese took the control, and this is the China occupied Kashmir. Now this is the reality, and in many, so when the conflict happened, they came with the concept of LAC, that is line of actual control. Okay. So line of actual control, LAC concept came. So whatever is your, in my area, I am controlling, that is your area. But line of actual control, there is a very, it's like a buffer. So this is the line, but maybe 2 kilometers here, 5 kilometers here, both the side, there is no infrastructure, so it's like a buffer zone. And there is a accepted agreement between, accepted या कह लो non-verbal, non-written agreement. Okay, so because we haven't made an infra, तो ये आपका भी area है, मेरा भी area है. So till the time we get settled. So many areas, so almost 3,500 kilometer का जो long coastline है between India and China. So there were a lot of areas where there were issues, but this is your area and this is my area, because China did not accept the historical British theory of McMahon line. Why? Because it was in their interest. India also did not try to solve it, and these problems of border issues, and it's a very complex issue. It cannot be solved in a day or two, and you need a very strong political will. You need to have a give and take approach, and you might have to cede land also. आपको अपना जमीन कुछ देना पड़ेगा, कुछ जमीन आपको मिलेगा. And here in a democracy, people are accountable. People are accountable to, government is accountable to the people. So answering them will be again a difficult task. Now, LAC, line of actual control, in many areas is defined. We are sitting here, Chinese are sitting maybe 2 kilometers from there, but in that area, patrolling happens from both the sides. Okay, patrolling happens. So maybe they'll come this side, I'll go this side. There are chances that we might meet once in a while, or we might not meet. But a clear fencing is not there on the boundary. And line of actual control, more often maybe a discussion is required where we can draw a strict line point by point. That is not there. In many areas there is no confrontation, but in many areas there are confrontation. China feels that the area which it's important for them, probably they want to control. So that is how the entire problem is. Again, the problems, commissions happened 1967, 1980s, 87. So a lot of commissions happened, but 62 war ke baad, India-China's relation went on a dip. In late 80s, the China, Mao Zedong died, and here Deng Xiaoping came. So Deng Xiaoping came, and Deng Xiaoping came with a theory that let's try and mend relationship, and let's let's ensure a status quo, and let's not try to bring that issue, because it will focus, it will create a conflict between the nations, and rather he focused on the economy, infrastructure development, economy development. But in the entire period, remember, after 1978, Deng Xiaoping control, and here China, reforms happened in China, and these were economic reform. And China ka jo growth hua, they went on 10% average growth hua, and China, around this time, 1970s, late 70s, India and China were almost equal in terms of size of the economy. But Chinese economy went up, and it became very big economy. And today China is almost 5 times of India's economy. So economic reform led to high growth. बहुत तेजी से economic development हुआ, growth हुआ, poverty elevation happened, agriculture growth happened, industrialization happened, manufacturing industries का development हुआ. So this all happened in 80s and 90s. So Deng Xiaoping was mostly about, he said that let's hide our strength. हम अपने strength को hide करते हैं. Let's focus on our development, and that was the policy. Deng Xiaoping later died in late 90s, and then that was the approach that was followed. But India and China ka jo border issue tha, that almost remained same. And but in the entire dynamics, the dynamics started changing in 2000, and China became a big economy. It got a lot of income, lot of money, economic growth hua, opportunities hui, job generation hua, tax income badha. They became manufacturing hub of the world. So when in 2000 they became very strong, they started in a border infrastructure. On the Chinese side, on this side, they started building infrastructure, and they were able to start controlling these areas. Now, India was a relatively poor country if I compare with China. India also did well on the economic front, but not like China. And India is a democracy. Indian government had its own policy. They did not focus on infrastructure development. There was some post, some area they got developed. But the new government which came in 2014, they realized the weakness, and even the military, and many times they said that you cannot match Chinese if you have a problem tomorrow. So you have to build infrastructure. And from 2014 onwards, the new government, they started focusing on developing border infrastructure. So we had a lot of roads, but many roads were less motorable. The heavy vehicles cannot go. And India started building roads across the, big roads and, airstrips where heavy planes can land and fighter planes can land. So all these India started doing. Now China was skeptical that okay, you're doing it, which means you might face us tomorrow and you might be able to meet us tomorrow. So that was a problem that started. Now where is the problem? Now problem started when in the last 4 5 years, India started building heavy roads, and India just last year was able to build a Daulat Beg Oldie airfield. Now here there's you can say the Karakoram Pass. There's a Siachen Glacier. It is the highest, you can say, maybe battleground in the world. Now Siachen was controlled by India, and we had a problem with China. Operation Meghdut happened in 1987, so India was able to control Siachen. And Daulat Bagh is an airstrip very close by to this, and this whole road was created, and this is all time all weather road and good road, okay, where heavy vehicles can move. So this is almost like ready. Now this road is moving very close to the line of actual control, and when this road started building, China suddenly got skeptical, because China is also making a lot of effort in many areas. So अब इसके इधर जाते हैं. So this is let's come again this diagram. So maybe this is Daulat Bagh Oldie. This is Siachen Glacier. This is Pak-occupied Kashmir, but it was given to China by the Kashmir, by Pakistan in 1963, because they felt that this area is very important and strategic for them. तो ये part China ने उनको, Pakistan ने China को दे दिया. Now what happened that when in 2012, Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, he is the third most strongest leader of China after Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. And after being the most strongest leader since the both of the leaders, what he started doing, that he started controlling China, and he believed in that we have to get control, and he started an initiative called BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. Okay. So in Belt and Road Initiative, they are making infrastructure. So there is an infrastructure which is going across from this region, okay, and that is called CPEC, China Pakistan Economic Corridor. So if China has to go to Indian Ocean, वो कैसे जाएगा? They have to move from South China Sea, then they have to move around the Indonesia region, and then they will come to Indian Ocean. But if they make a road right from Pakistan, right from Xinjiang province to Pakistan, Pak-occupied Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan, and they can go up to the Indian Ocean. So that is what they started building, and the idea was, and they started investing a lot of money here. India refused to be part of the BRI, because BRI is a vision of Chinese expansion, where they want to control and they want to make infrastructure right from China to Indian Ocean, to European nation, to Africa, to South Asia, and all the countries. And China had a lot of money because they were able to control dollars. And today the Chinese forex is almost 6 to 7 times of India's forex. So because of easy income and forex, or because of manufacturing of the world, China started controlling, and they said that now the future is in our hand, and that future will be when we maybe uproot America tomorrow. So that is their vision. In next 2 decades, अगले 2-3 decades में, they want to take over new superpower. That is, they want to become a new superpower. So only way is that Belt and Road Initiative. Why? Because China का जो manufacturing का जो advantage है, that has plateaued. Now China cannot grow any further in the manufacturing part, because other countries are giving a lot of competition to China, and China feels that tomorrow again I will not be able to control. So in this Belt and Road Initiative, one corridor was China Pakistan Economic Corridor. India said, since this road is going through Pak-occupied Kashmir, which is officially a India part, and hence we have an objection to that. So China had problem here. Then the problem started happening when India made this Daulat Bagh Oldie road, and this is a very all-weather road. And this Daulat Bagh Oldie is you can say it is a very strategic position. इसका जो location इतना अच्छा है that you can easily hit from here to any part of China, and they can easily. And this is and here you can land maybe Globemaster, C-17. This is the heaviest plane in the world. You can land there, and India has made good road, and that is a very short span of time. That was beyond Chinese expectation. अब हो क्या रहा था? Now coming to this Galwan Valley. So this is a Galwan Valley, satellite view of Galwan Valley. So China, so Galwan Valley, and there is a river called Galwan River. So this Galwan River was moving from east in China to west in India. So and when it was moving, so this whole area is called Galwan Valley. And यहाँ पर जैसे मान लो ये पूरा river is moving like this, or you can say अगर हम इस map के तो river is moving like this, okay? And here is a new river called Shyok River. So this is a confluence here, okay? And Galwan Valley ends here, you can say. Now, mostly this is the east of Galwan Valley, and this is the west of Galwan Valley. Though in the of China, they claim because this whole area is, you can say LAC is going here. So China was saying that Galwan Valley is ours, but they were mostly concerned about this part on the west ka jo end part hai Galwan Valley ka, that name never claimed that is their part. But you know what happened? Now Daulat Bagh Oldie Road is coming from here at the back, and this is passing here, and then it is going this. So this the confluence point, यहाँ पर इंडिया का एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग ITBP का बेस है, Indian Tibetan Border Police. Okay, so we have a very strong base here, and we have a very strong military presence here, which is almost maybe a few kilometers from the west end of the Galwan Valley. Now, when India was able to make good roads, all better road, now China felt that, so unka jo troops tha, which they used to travel here, and Indians also used to travel here like that, because like there's a buffer zone. So they started extending their position from this area to the western tip. But remember, these are high mountain. ये high mountain है, and this is a valley. Okay, so this is a valley. So Galwan River जो है valley है. So within the high mountain there is a valley going on, and the region where the Shyok River and the Galwan River meet. Okay, यहीं से हमारा दौलत बाग ओल्डी वाला जो है हाईवे जा रहा है. Now, moment if they control the west end part of the Galwan Valley, जैसे वो west end part Galwan Valley carry करते हैं, so they can get a strategic advantage, और वहां से they can put like what happened in Kargil, okay, so they can hit our highway, they can stop the flow of the highway, they can control everything. So when they started coming here, so Indian soldiers, they opposed them. Okay, they said that okay, आपको यहाँ हम रोक लेते हैं. So this is maybe a position where we oppose them, which is probably few kilometers from there. As per the accepted agreement, the Chinese were supposed to take 5 kilometers, towards the east side on the Galwan Valley. So वो अभी तक यहाँ थे. Now they started moving forward, and they claim that entire Galwan Valley हमारा है. Historically, in their earlier maps, this part was not, as per their map. But now in the new map, in the past few years, in the past maybe a year or so, they started showing this part as well, because of India making a good road here and India getting a strategic advantage. But moment if they control the west tip of the Galwan Valley, जैसे वो west tip of Galwan Valley control करते हैं, it is a high mountain, and there they can control our highway, they can hit the highway, they can bomb the highway. That is what happened in the Kargil. So that is the problem with India. India says now you were supposed to stay 5 kilometers behind, and how you're coming outside. So this is where there is a point 4 where the conflict happened, and Chinese Chinese started pushing, and Indian soldiers and Chinese soldiers had and they have an accepted agreement in 1996, and in 2005 there was an agreement between the discussion between the India and Chinese government that here, even if the engagement happens between both the forces, so we will not use weapons. हम weapons को use नहीं करेंगे. Which yesterday government said that military is free to use whatever. अभी yesterday government ने कहा कि that military is free to do whatever they want, however they want to control, वो कर सकते हैं. So that is the whole problem. India cannot allow the Chinese to now, after this conflict, they have moved little back, but the Chinese are very ferocious. Remember, they are very strong. India does definitely have a strong military, strong army, but China is definitely almost 3 to 4 times stronger economy. But they know that India is not like Bangladesh or smaller countries or Vietnam or maybe Indonesia or Japan. India is relatively a stronger nation, so India can maybe challenge China. Similarly, after this COVID-19 crisis, China is facing a lot of problem internally, as per the various media reports. So this COVID crisis has shaken their economy, and as per various data, this COVID crisis started not today, but probably it is going on since last August 2019. So they have tried to control, but now this COVID crisis has gone beyond. And जो उनके जो leader हैं, Xi Jinping is the strongest leader after Deng Xiaoping and Mao Zedong. and he has made himself the president of China and general secretary of China, People's Republic of China, or Chinese Communist Party, till the time he die, because he will, अब वो वहाँ की country के head तब तक रहेंगे जब तक वो मर न जाए, till the time he will die. So he has, now he, because of his popularity is coming down, and because of his lower popularity, now he is trying to show China's strength in various areas. So they are creating problems in South China Sea. So China claims that this South China Sea is ours. Now I'll explain this South China Sea also maybe in the next lecture. And also there is a 9-dash line. Now this is south of China, but they say that whole South China Sea hamara hai. Similarly, they are saying that Hong Kong. So they want, now Hong Kong is one of the autonomous region which was in control of Britain till 1997. Hong Kong was under control of Britain, and when Britain gave it to China, Britain said that there was an agreement that you will ensure that autonomy and of Hong Kong will be there, and they will not be ruled by the laws of China, the mainland of China. But now Chinese want to change that, so there is a problem here. Similarly, there is a problem in the India, China border. Then similarly in the Taiwan also, so they want to claim Taiwan. Now Taiwan, after China, Taiwan is not recognized in many countries. Very few countries recognize. In fact, India also does not recognize Taiwan, and Taiwan is not recognized by many international groups also. But Taiwan is, even though it's a small country, but they are very strong economically, and they are, even though they are always ready to fight and confront China. So then they have a problem with, in China Sea, they have a problem with Japan, they have a problem with in Vietnam, they have a problem with all the countries, Philippines, they have a problem with Indonesia. So all of them, वो कहते हैं ये हमारा पूरा area है. If Vietnam or Philippines or Indonesia, if they claim anything, China threatens them. So it's all about, it is not about it is all about jiski lathi uska bhais. I'm powerful, so I'll do whatever I want. The rules, international engagement or international rules will not apply to us. So that is what is happening. So this is the whole problem. And as per the because China, Xi Jinping popularity is going down, and he is trying to flex his muscle in all the areas, confronting everybody. And that is how probably the Chinese local population, their attention will be diverted to these places, because if they try to come to India, they try to control LAC or try to expand their reach in the LAC area region, definitely India will oppose. Definitely in South China Sea, the countries will oppose. So that is how nationalist sentiment will develop. So that is the whole picture that we are witnessing. And this is one problem. Then there is a problem at other, like there's a problem at Songpo Lo Lake that I'll maybe probably take in the next lecture. So this is the whole problem that we're witnessing. And today China is much stronger economically. What can India do? Definitely India will have to hold its ground. We can't cede even a small piece of land. And it is a more for psychological warfare. China is strong economically, and China knows that. But remember, India is also a nuclear nation. So China knows that they can only push to a limit. And it is also about what is the level of political will in a country. So far, our previous government, they were unstable government. Or wo jitni bhi government thi, they were unstable, and whatever decision they took, they were more like cozying up with China. They were trying to find a middle way out. It's like you're fighting the somebody who's strong, and you are agreeing to whatever point they're saying. So slowly they were pushing in the LAC region. They were controlling some part, or here, there, and there. So that is how. So China felt that maybe this policy will continue. But this new government which came, they kind of objected, and they have a more of a strong approach to these regions. And so that is the entire problem that is happening now again. But there were other reasons also. So in past 1 year, what has happened? So Jammu and Kashmir, Article 370 was revoked. Okay. Then similarly, Ladakh, the earlier Jammu and Kashmir was ruled under Article 370. So the central government did not control entirely. But after this change in the law, maybe Article 370 was revoked, Article 35 was revoked, Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir became UT. So entire dynamics change. So uske baad ye dynamic badalna start ho gaya. So China, started looking, they felt that Jammu and Kashmir, earlier they did not interfere in Jammu and Kashmir, but now they started looking at, that Jammu and Kashmir should unstable region, because that is how we will be able to control the areas of China Pakistan economic corridor. और वो सारा जो advantage है वो हमारा तभी रहेगा जब Jammu and Kashmir is not directly. If Jammu and Kashmir India ke haath mein, India is able to control Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir properly, there's no problem with Ladakh. There's no problem with Jammu. There's only problem with the Kashmir Valley. So if these areas, India is able to control their areas, they can make development. They can, and this government is more like infra development, and they are strengthening their military army. So that is probably they might confront India tomorrow. And China has a very clear-cut policy that you contain India to South China. Sorry, contain India to South Asia. So they have a approach that because they know that only country which can confront China tomorrow, even though not to the level of equal partner, but at least at one level below. Because if India grows at 8%, 7% for the next 2 decades, so India will also be a strong economy. India will also be a developed country. And if India is a developed country, we can oppose China. We can confront China. Even today, we can confront China, but China today has a lot of money and resource, so we cannot match them if they go any part of the world. So the only way forward is a stronger India, economically development India. And today the dynamics are changing, and China does not want to solve the problems of border issue, because China believes that it's like a bargaining chip. Isko hum jab chahenge use karenge, and they will force India to cede our demand. So here also the government said that we'll take over POK and China occupied Kashmir. So that kind of statement did not go well with the Chinese. They started and they started saying that whatever India did in Kashmir is something that should not be done, and blah blah blah. And the Pakistan and China has always been all over the friends. So that is where the problem started, and probably this is a way in which China is flexing its muscle and saying a psychological war game. That if you do this, I will do this tomorrow, and maybe your attention will be diverted. Maybe India have to cede a little ground on these areas. So this is the problem that is happening around. Though it is a big there are other dimensions also which can be discussed here, but I'm mostly looking at this problem in the Galwan Valley. What Indian government response have been that they are not ready to cede any ground, and that have kind of surprised China, not ready. So they are still playing this mind warfare game, but it came at a cost of 20 soldiers, our Indian soldiers dying there. Naturally, the number of casualties is there, as there's various reports. Some are saying 35, some are saying 40. We don't know. So, but remember, there's one more advantage. Indian army are very much acclimatized to live like. You have a good experience of Siachen Valley. You have good experience of we have a good experience of Indian soldiers living in high altitude. Chinese does not have that kind of experience, especially in the Galwan Valley. Now, what happens in next 1 month? Why this point is important? Because China feels that next 1 month, till the time rain comes in, if they are able to control this point, then things will change. But if they are not, because China does not have infrastructure in the Galwan Valley, उनके पास कोई infrastructure Galwan Valley में नहीं है. The next infrastructure after Galwan Valley, because Galwan Valley or this high mountainous region is very difficult terrain. It is practically impossible to make road. So this Galwan Valley is the only way forward. And here India or maybe in this point India is opposing them. Okay, so they want to reach further and they want to control till the time till the place of the confluence of Shyok and the Galwan River. तो अब क्या कर सकते हैं वो, ये जब यहाँ चले जाएंगे then they can create problems for India. But India does not want them to move forward. So they are moving their territory and they are redefining the LAC, because LAC is more about more about what is in my control. Even though you might have a discussion on ground, but that would change, right? Because I am powerful, so I would change. The rules of the game, the international rules of the engagement will not depend on what international agreements say, but jiski lathi uska bhais. I am powerful, so I'll say what I'll do. So Chinese are a very shrewd people. They cannot be trusted. They change their game plan every time. And India is not dealing with the weak player. They're very strong. But let's see how things go in future. And I believe current government has have showed a very unambiguous statement and saying that we will fort our territory irrespective whatever is the consequence. Agar hamare soldiers marte hain, if people die, we are ready to accept that, because we will not give even a small piece of land to Chinese and give them a strategy, because सारा investment है जो पूरा अपना security का game plan है वो सारा disturb हो जाएगा. So that is the reality that we witness today. Now, so China's assertion in Ladakh, this is of course Galwan Valley, the problem that we witness. So I believe you must have got an understanding कि क्या हुआ है. Now here, so this is this is a PAC, this is Daulat Bagh, this is line of actual control. Okay, so China occupied Kashmir. China occupied Kashmir. Now, what China says that it is a Chinese area. So it is nothing, it is not a part of Kashmir, it is my area. Okay. So what is the China's argument? India's decision to change the constitutional status of J&K cited the reason for growing Chinese assertiveness in Ladakh. So जैसे जो constitutional status change हुआ Article 370, so China started changing its game, and they started saying that now India has forced China to be in the Kashmir, and China and Pakistan are friends, so naturally China is posing up. Then India, what is India? India से India कहता है China को कि भी आप, what is your claim? You have no status, you have zero local standing in Kashmir. Kashmir is a problem with India and Pakistan, so you do not have a claim. But that is not true entirely, because China feels that they have a claim in the China-occupied Kashmir, this Askai Chin, again which is a part of Ladakh and Kashmir. Similarly, China feels that they have control in the areas of Gilgit-Baltistan. Gilgit-Baltistan, जो Pak-occupied Kashmir के अलावा जो area है, Gilgit-Baltistan. So this again they have made a road here, so they have a strategic maybe advantage, or maybe might have a strategic area in control because they want to enter Indian Ocean. So these are the problems that is happening, and so what India is just China is claiming that we do have a business in Kashmir because we still have a stake in Kashmir, and now China says that in Delhi has forced Beijing into the Kashmir dispute, and China is very part of the Kashmir dispute. So how this will change? What will Kashmir? Basically, China is trying to flex its muscle. China is saying that we would want the border issue as per our understanding, and we will control these areas, and maybe we'll try to change the ground per jo status quo hai, that should change, and that should go into the areas of China. So that is the reality that we are witnessing. You can see here. So this is the highway that they have made, Karakoram Highway. Okay, so this is you can say the high mountains are there. This is Siachen glaciers are there. This is Olbi. Maybe this is an area. Maybe this road I'm saying. So this is the Gilgit-Baltistan, so Galwan Valley area. So this is the problem that is happening right now. China-Pakistan economic corridor is going from here. Okay, this area it is going. So it has a strategic region from it because it is coming from Xinjiang region. This is Tibet. So China has stake everywhere, and only time will tell how things will move. And okay, China's changing Kashmir to Kashmir question is there, because earlier they were not into that difference, but now they have come into the difference. And यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा जो area जो मैंने बताया नहीं, in this Gilgit-Baltistan there is an area called Hunza. Okay, so this is an area called Hunza in this period, this place Hunza, and this Hunza is basically in control of Pakistan, but this Hunza region is also very strategic for China. So China, because the Mir, the king of Hunza or the leader of Hunza in 1947-48, he negotiated with Xinjiang as well as Pakistan, but बाद में वो पाकिस्तान में चले गए. So China claimed that this area is again in Xinjiang province, which is, that means ये मेरा area होगा. But they have okay with Pakistan, have verbally kind of accepted that okay, right now it is in my control, but tomorrow if you want we can give that maybe area to you as well. So that is the problem that we have. So China has they have started an old claim of self-determination of Kashmir, and the history of that जो पूरा मैं समझाया वो सारा यहाँ mentioned है. Okay, so now only time will tell how the grand reality will change, and yes, India will have to hold its ground, and and time will tell that how we are able to handle this crisis. So just read the whole pointers that I have mentioned. After the class आपको PDF मिल जाएगा. Can Beijing be trusted? No. Can we say that Beijing tomorrow might change their status? Well, we can't accept. Only ways that are strong, and similarly in 2017 भी तो यही हुआ था, Doklam clash हुआ था. So Doklam was like a tri junction. यहाँ पे ऐसा था. So this was a tri junction, but it was in control of Bhutan. ये India का area, ये China का area, ये Bhutan का area, ये India का area. So this was tri junction. But here, what China said that ये Doklam, they tried to control this part even though it was a Bhutan's claim area. So India went there and India stopped because they were making roads. Because this point is very strategic for India, because India का जो Chicken's Neck है, okay, Chicken's Neck is a very narrow 21 kilometers road which connects India with Northeast. Okay, so if they come here, they can control Chicken's Neck, they can bombard, they can disconnect India from Northeast. So India went there, showed a strong resilience. We countered, and Chinese were taken by surprise. and this conflict is again. But China that is a common strategy they have. So we have to see how things change. I think government should try to hold their ground. There might be some conflict. There will not be a war, but there will be these psychological war and conflict at little here and there. Because even today, if I talk about India and China economically and militarily, China is very strong. But that should not deter us from raising our, or maybe putting our issues in front. And what in China is doing, that they are cozying up with Nepal, they are cozying up with now Bangladesh, they are cozying up with, Pakistan is again their friends. So all they're taking all their small neighbors of India in their favor, in Chinese favor, by giving them land, giving them money, dollars, investment, infra. Same is the case with Sri Lanka. So they have made Sri Lanka very strong highway between Colombo and Hambantota port. Okay. So ये बहुत सारा है जो China is kind of, and they are trying to enter in the Indian Ocean. So that is also one of the concerns of India. And only way India can match is, of course, India will have a limited cards to play. But only way is a stronger India. If India grows well in economically and GDP, we might be able to do that. Also, Indian Ocean is a region where India has a strong advantage, because of we have a huge presence of maritime, naval and other regions. Also, the countries like Japan, countries like USA cannot be trusted, I would say, but Japan, Australia, all these countries are troubled by China. So we can make recently India said that we'll be part of the Quad, okay, which will have Japan, USA and other countries. So that is also kind of China is saying that now you're cozying up with the countries which are against China. So we'll also show how much we are. So that is there are multiple powers that is going on right now. So ये जो problem है, this is bound to stay. This problem will not go away. This problem will stay, and we have to live with this. Only way is that we have to invest in our border areas. Only way is that we have to make ourselves stronger. Only way is that we invest in our economy, we invest in our people. Only way is that India does well economically, because I do not see any other solution. Because a stronger India, strength will respect strength. Remember, आप strong हो गए तो आपको कोई question नहीं कर सकता. The stronger you are, there are less chances that somebody can question you. So strength will respect strength, not weakness. So only way forward is a stronger India, a stronger economic India. Till the time we have to hold our ground. Maybe in coming 1 decade or 2 decades, the dynamics will change. India might become by 2027 a 5 trillion economy. By 2000, maybe 30 or 40, we might become a bigger economy. China will definitely be ahead of us, but we will not be a very small player in front of China. Okay, so only time will tell that how we are able to handle this problem. Okay, so I believe everybody understood this India and China problem historically. से लेके आपको समझ में आया कहानी. Okay, any doubt anybody have? I have taken a liberty because there are a lot of small current issues, but आप उसको ऐसे भी factually पढ़ लोगे तो कोई issue नहीं है. Tomorrow, if there are some issues are left, I can take that tomorrow also. Based on जो मेरा tomorrow lecture है उसमें मैं आधा घंटा current affair भी दे लूँगा if required. Everybody understood, right? You got some any questions you have? Okay, good. So that is the reality. China cannot be trusted, and the only way is that India have to make ourselves stronger. We have to invest in our technology. We have to invest in our border infrastructure. We have to invest in our modernization of our military technology. Okay, good. Okay, TC has a question. TC, there was no actual agreement. It was more like wherever you stayed, that is your area. Wherever I stayed, that is my area. And in between, there is a LAC. Okay. Okay, so let's take this question. So TC has a question. In 1962, there was no actual agreement between India and China. India now occupy Andhra Pradesh of NEFA. Remember, TC try to understand whichever northeast, whichever part, except to 1 or 2 region. ये लोग सब इंडिया में सिक्किम became part of India voluntarily. Yes, naturally India kind of said that now you're a part. So even northeast, the people, the Ladakhi people, they don't want to go with China. Never ever they want to be. They wanted to be with India. Okay, so that also changed the dynamics on ground. And now after the independence, when India was able to control, after the 62 war, China started making a new claim based on their old theory. Now they come with an old document of 200 years ago. Okay, they say that in 200 years ago this part was mine, so even today it will be mine. Like what China said, Pakistan, Nepal ने क्या 1815 का जो document है उसके हिसाब से this is my area. Now what is this? We are living in 2020 and you're talking about 1815 document. Okay, 1815 document किसके साथ हुआ? British के साथ हुआ. Where were you in the past 70 years? Okay, so this unsolicited claims made by China, because they are strong, they can make any claim. In fact, they have cozied up. So yes, you're right. In 962 के बाद जो border issues हैं, there are in almost 3,500 kilometers में, there are, especially in the region from the Ladakh to northeast, in many areas there is a border issues are there, but in many part like in Sikkim area and many other part, the border issue is settled. But there also you don't know Chinese, because tomorrow वो फिर से कहें कि हमारा इसमें ये problem है. हम, if they feel that India has a somewhere, India has a vantage point, India has a stronger advantage, तो वहां पे आ जाएंगे और कहेंगे कि भी ये मेरा एरिया है. Okay, so yes, the only way is a stronger India. So I'll, if you have any further question, I'll take it later on. So that is the whole issue of India and China. Okay, so Preeti has a question. Sir, how for this boycott made in China will help us? Well, should I do some facts on ground? So India and China have a trade of around $70 billion. Okay, 72 billion dollars, and imports around $57 billion, and these are imports, and exports are around $15 billion. So India has a trade, sorry, India has a trade deficit of some $57 billion. Okay, 57, Yankee is 70 plus 72. So India has a trade deficit of $57 billion, which means India is paying more dollars to China than India is earning from China. Now, but ये जो पूरा part है, that is hardly 3% of China's trade. Hardly 3% of China's trade. So how this will hit, only time will tell. But even if you're losing 1%, 0.5% or 1%, that is also huge. So only time बताएगा कितना economically उसका impact होगा China को. But I believe that China is ready for all this. And only thing is that how well you take this rhetoric. आप इस rhetoric को क्यों कैसे लेते हो? Made in China का alternative क्या है अभी आप बताओ? Do we have an alternative for made in China? Very few alternative. If yes, it is difficult. So TC has a question. Yes, the Chinese item that come to India, they are cheaper. So we have to look for Indian option. Indian options are costlier. The other options from Japan or maybe other foreign nation options are costlier. So India will not ban. India can never ban, because we are bound by the international agreements of WTO. So हम ban नहीं कर सकते हैं. Only thing is that we can arouse a sentiment where people will voluntarily give up those areas. Okay, India can't ban the export. India can look a new way of putting maybe extra taxation or incentivizing the local industry. Okay, so you have Miriala has a question. What are the causes of current issues between India and China? Does countries like USA? No, Zoom. Okay. Well, Zoom, the owner of Zoom is Chinese, but Zoom is an American company. Okay, you can check on the internet. Recently, a statement came from him. He is staying in USA from 1997, and he has taken the citizenship of USA from last 15 years. So they have one of the servers in China, but they have servers in many countries. So Zoom is a Chinese origin person owns Zoom. Okay, but he is an American citizen today. You can check on the Zoom also. You can check on the Wikipedia. Okay. Yes, it will impact our. See, Miriala has a question that if we cannot ban the import, we can look for alternatives, or also maybe in the coming 5 years we invest in ourselves and we produce whatever. So Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliance India is basically boosting our manufacturing growth. कि जो हमारा dependency है on the countries like China, others should come down. Okay. Yes, there is a negative. So Vikrant has a question. So present all the countries have started ban on China's product. Is it real? Well, there's a lot of negative sentiment against China because of this COVID crisis. Because China mishandled the COVID crisis, it did not inform the world, and that is the reason we are sitting at home today. Yes, border adjustment tax could be one of the factors, could be there. Well, WTO says that you cannot, ban the imports. WTO rules say that the import have to be, followed with the concept of national treatment, which means anything which comes from India, China to India, and Indian item both should be treated equally. So on that account, but there are a lot of technical, process also which can be used by India against Chinese. So only time will tell. So see, it's like I don't accept the what the rule is there on the ground. WTO का जो rule है मैं follow नहीं करूँगा. Okay. Okay, Senito has a question. Why is the secondary sector of our country not growing up to the expectation? Senito, this ये पूरा अपने आप में एक अलग debate है. In economics, I'll take. Okay, so I'll take that area. Why India's manufacturing sector is weak or our industry is weak. Okay, Ankit, देखेंगे time क्या है. Only time will tell. For now, the only way is, of course, that we have to strengthen our economy. We have to focus on. It is a crisis, but it is an opportunity as well. It is more about how Indian government responds, the way our Indian players responds, Indian manufacturers respond. Because if I talk about today, हमारे पास PPE नहीं था. आज हम लोग we are making more than 3 lakhs PPE every day. We are making N95 masks. We are making ventilators. Everything was imported from China. So during the crisis, we are looking at Vikrant. If you try to see, government is not banning anything. Government ने कुछ ban नहीं किया है. Government is not banning. Government is is spreading, or government is putting a narrative that people should avoid Chinese items. And we have a lot of groups in India. So we have Swadeshi Jagran Manch, we have Ramdev Baba, who are saying that let's look for Indian options. TC, I'll take this maybe in the next lecture. Just remind me. So TC has a question. If you cannot, please talk about Taiwan and Xinjiang autonomous. So I'll take this. Just remind me. मैं इस next lecture में मैं इसका issue को भी Taiwan और Xinjiang वाला issue भी मैं I will take it. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so let's cover in today's class. So Sajal has a question, sir. Chinese boycott will boost India's manufacturing sector. Well, only time will tell. Right now, we do not have an alternative. For example, I'm using a digital pen which is Chinese. Okay, so there are hardly any Indian company which is making a digital pen. Now, this digital pen, of course, is 5 years, 6 years old. But do we have an alternative today? No, I don't have. The laptop which I'm using, even though it is of Dell, but a lot of items are being manufactured in China. Do Dell have an option? Well, not. So now Dell is looking for a new approach. They are changing their areas. Okay, so Vikrant, maybe I'll take this question in the end. So let's stop the questions today. Stop the question of the China now. And I believe that you have a lot of doubts. So let's understand and take the other part here. Okay. So next topic is, of course, global partnership on artificial intelligence. So what is AI? AI is future. Artificial intelligence means intelligence of human or intelligence or intelligent machines, okay, which can think, which can process, which can take decisions. And AI has been a very old, science, almost few decades, but now AI is on ground. So we have automated cars tomorrow, okay, automated cars, self-driving cars can be a reality. Our homes, our work process, our businesses, everything will be automated, so that is maybe in future. So AI is something as a future, technology. So there is a global partnership concept. So Vikrant has a question, sir. I came to know that Corona was spread by China. Vikrant, isko end mein le lenge beta. Let me cover this topic. I'll take this question in the end. Aakhri ka 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'll take questions only. Okay? Because again, it will take me few minutes to ठीक है, ये conspiracy theory है या क्या है, prove तो नहीं हुआ है बेटा ये, but we'll take in the end. Okay? So artificial intelligence is intelligent machine which can think, which can process. And now there's a global partnership, and the idea behind that you can use AI for human rights, diversity, and economic growth. And now it is a league of so many countries. They are coming together, and the idea is to share technology and help each other, so that in future we can use AI for growth and development of the humankind. So this is a global partnership. India have joined this global partnership, and AI related technologies, AI related products will come, a new cutting edge technology will come. So countries will share the technology and the innovation research. So India will also add to that. Okay, so already Niti Aayog, we have a body called Niti Aayog, which is India's think tank. So they are investing heavily in the technologies like national, quantum technologies. They're investing, AI, machine learning, big data. So these are the technologies which might, come in future. So these are the areas where, India will have to invest heavily. Then only we can compete with the global countries, especially China and of course other nations. But this collaboration will help the industry, economy, government, and it is believed that the AI can have a solution for the COVID-19. For example, this Arogya Setu. So it is a contact tracing. Again, technology can be very useful. AI can find solutions to tomorrow machines, robots. Okay, so only time will tell. And India is one of the countries which has still not put a lot of effort in these areas. Okay, so India has recently launched national AI strategy and national AI portal. It has started leveraging AI across sectors like education, agriculture, healthcare, e-commerce, finance, and I think government का initiative बहुत important है. But yes, eventually the private people will have to take AI in big role. So अभी USA, China, Japan, Germany, these are people who are leading the investments and technology, West European nations in the AI technology. So we also have to learn from them, and probably this global partnership जो है वो एक अच्छा initiative होगा, platform हो सकता है. Then Indian gas exchange. So recently, now gas in India comes from two sources: offline, okay, that means from within the domestic sources, or from the offshore. So these offshore are naturally the imported ones, and these imported ones, the prices fluctuate. Okay. So if the prices fluctuate, we can do trading here. Okay, and this trading will kind of, so it's like a contract, future trading. तो जैसे आपको पता नहीं है, let's say after 10 days today's price is 100, after 10 days it might be 110. But let's say I have an agreement with a buyer or seller. I'm a producer, maybe I have an agreement with the buyer, buyer, that I will sell you at 105 after 10 days. International price be maybe 110, but you said 105. So this is a contract, and in this contract, you can reduce your losses, and people can do trading here. People can do it like a share market. आप trading कर सकते हो. So this could be a source of income, and it is also about bringing everybody. You are making a common platform where people can invest. So this exchange will facilitate transparent price discovery. Natural gas facilitate growth of the share of natural gas in India's energy basket. और इंडिया का जो gas market है, especially LNG, liquid natural gas, is going to expand because we are reducing the fossil fuel. जो LNG है, it is less pollution generating हो सकता है. So less pollution होता है. For example, we have various variants of CNG और ये सारा जो है, so they are less pollution generating. So instead of petroleum, diesel, so these can be utilized. So India's energy basket will grow. So what will this online delivery gas-based trading platform, India's energy market platform, it will enable market participants to trade in the gas contract, automated with the web interface, provide seamless trading experience. So जैसे आप share market में trade करते हो, तो in share market you trade the companies का share. वैसे ही यहाँ पे gas prices coming from various companies can be traded. Okay, so it will realize a free market towards pricing of gas. So it will be market driven, and there will be no monopoly or price. There will be more transparency in the pricing also. So maybe that is what this trading platform will do. Okay, so trading will allow it will allow trading across 3 hubs: Dahej and Hajra in Gujarat and Kaki Naka in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so these are और ये जो बाहर से आ रहा है, ऑफशोर से आ रहा है, उसी के लिए रहेगा. ऑनशोर वाला अभी इंडिया का जो है उस पे अभी ये नहीं होगा. सो इट इज लाइक अ ट्रेडिंग ऑफ दीज मार्केट. तो इनका ट्रेडिंग होगा एंड प्राइस डिस्कवरी मैकेनिज्म से होगा, एंड इट विल हेल्प बोथ बायर एंड सेलर बोथ, बिकॉज द प्राइसेस इंटरनेशनली विल डिपेंड ऑन हाउ economy is moving. Okay, so this is shorter contract, so it's like a share market. Okay, where you can fix prices of future also. Domestically produced natural gas के लिए नहीं होगा, okay, because it will not be sold on the exchange, which means the price will be decided by the government. But it is, we are believing that जो future में जो gas pricing होगा, government will also maybe include reforms where future domestic gas pricing will be market oriented. Okay, so only time will tell how things will go, but right now it's allowed the pricing of these. Okay. So why regulatory change is required? Because government, the oil will currently GAIL controls the prices, and in this thing, the other players might also come, and this will ensure that the price discovery is more natural. Experts have asked कि इसको आप GST उसमें add करिए, GST में taxes will also be reduced. Okay, so that is what the entire thing is. So this is a basic fact based information. India's gas exchange, so जैसे हमारा market exchange और stock exchange, वैसे ही gas prices के लिए होगा. Now there is one more news on the stockpiles. SIPRI report. What is SIPRI? SIPRI is a Stockholm-based a think tank which talks about nuclear stockpile. Now this also is an important issue, and let's go. I'll take in the history of what happened. So in 1945, क्या हुआ 1945 में? In 1945 we had a problem. That was that for the first time on 9th August and 6th August, we had Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, little boy, sorry, fat boy and some little something, that was the code name of that. So for the first time, nuclear weapons were used by America, and America was the only country having nuclear weapons. तो थोड़ा आप just hold for 5 minutes, मैं आपको पूरा इसका history समझाता हूँ और फिर problem कहाँ है वो देखने की कोशिश करते हैं. So and then what happened in 1949? USSR also made nuclear weapon. 1950s, Britain made nuclear weapons. Then France made nuclear weapons. Okay, in late 50s. Then in 1960s, China also made nuclear weapon. Because of this nuclear, but the fight was only between USA and Russia, because both the countries, जो उस टाइम यूएसएसआर था, यूएसएसआर स्प्लिट हो गया 19 लेट 80s और 90s में, इट इज रशिया. सो यूएसएसआर इज ऑस्ट्रेलिया, रशिया. So now USA और USSR के बीच there was a major competition because there were two big powerful nations in the world around that time, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and they started making nuclear arsenal, और ये अपना stockpile करना उन्होंने start कर दिया. One more thing, this led to a situation called arms race, and this arms race was called nuclear arms race, and it was believed that ये सारे जो होंगे वो WMD हो जाएंगे, weapons of mass destruction. So you don't need anything else. आप इन bombs को use कर दीजिए, the earth will be destroyed. So USA and others, these countries who had nuclear weapons, they started thinking 50s or 60s, they started thinking that what should be done, and they said that let's create a treaty called NPT, non-proliferation treaty. And in this non-proliferation treaty, the objective of NPT is that now we will not allow any new country to acquire nuclear weapon. किसी भी country को nuclear weapon acquire हम नहीं करने देंगे. And we will ask all the countries to become a part, sign this NPT. But there's a difference now. अब हुआ क्या? Difference क्या था? What was the problem with the NPT? So NPT came in 1967. Okay, I think the 1st January cutoff date हुआ, and so 1967 तक there were only 5 countries in the world who had nuclear weapons. Okay, only 5 countries. So China was the last country in 1960s, 67 it tested. So all the countries like USA, Britain, Russia, which is USSR around that time, France, and China. So there were 5 countries, and they were called P5. All these countries also became, maybe UN Security Council के permanent members ही बन गए. So they were called N5 or P5 countries. So they are most powerful countries, N5 and P5 country. तो ये जो NPT हुआ, NPT ने कहा there will be 2 kind of countries. One would be the nuclear weapon state. Okay, nuclear weapon states, NWS, and there will be non-nuclear weapon states. Now, these nuclear weapon states will be 5P5 countries and 5 countries. ये 5 country हैं जिनके पास nuclear weapon है. But all the other countries will be now non-nuclear weapons. तो जिन्होंने भी 1967 के बाद किसी को भी हम nuclear weapon acquire नहीं करने देंगे. Now, nuclear weapon will have a two purpose. Or nuclear technology has two purpose. One is the military use, that is, you are making atom bomb, nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, or the peaceful purpose. Peaceful purpose will be for power generation, treatment, food, preservation. So वहाँ पे nuclear technologies को हम use करेंगे. So they said that every country, so this non-nuclear weapon state जो है non-NWS, they can use only for peaceful purpose. यानी ये लोग क्या है, they cannot acquire military, they cannot make bombs, nuclear bombs. And all the countries in the world were forced to sign the NPT. India ने refuse कर दिया. India ने कहा कि what is this? It's like you are deciding the rules of the game. India believed in disarmament. जो हमारे नेहरू थे, इन्होंने सबने बिलीव किया कि डिसआर्ममेंट होना चाहिए, हमको डिसआर्ममेंट करना चाहिए. We should not have nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapon हमारे हाथ में नहीं होना चाहिए because these are weapons of mass destruction. But after Nehru left, he died in 1964. Suddenly there was a belief in the Indian think tanks that ये जो nuclear weapon state है, इन्होंने अपने लिए अलग रूल बनाए हैं, rest for other people there is a different rule. So these people, nuclear weapon state, they can make weapons for military also and peaceful also. They can make nuclear weapons also, and they can use peaceful purpose also. But ये जो non-nuclear weapon states हैं, they can only use peaceful purpose. Or that is what they've started promoting. India refused. So India ने refuse किया, तो पाकिस्तान ने भी refuse कर दिया. Later on, Israel later on refused. North Korea, first they signed NPT, later on they also refused. So today the four countries, India, Pakistan, China and Israel, Israel and North Korea, these are the four countries today which have nuclear weapons, which have openly said कि हमारे पास nuclear weapons है, but they have not signed NPT. Now what NPT says that you cannot come into the category of nuclear weapon state, because ये तो कट ऑफ डेट डिफाइन हो गया. 67 से पहले जिन्होंने न्यूक्लियर वेपन अक्वायर किया वही न्यूक्लियर वेपन स्टेट होंगे. Hence you have to give up your nuclear weapons if you want to be a part of, if you want NPT. अगर आप NPT साइन करते हो तो हम आपको बहुत सारा बेनिफिट देंगे, हम आपको पीसफुल टेक्नोलॉजी देंगे, we'll give you. India is also a country, we do not have nuclear material. हमारे पास न्यूक्लियर जो मटेरियल है, we do not have the resources, हमारे पास बहुत कम है. So if you want to develop nuclear power plant, nuclear reactor, for that we need help from these countries. But NPT does not allow that to do that. ठीक है? Because वो कहते हैं कि अगर हम आपको peaceful के देंगे तो आप military के लिए भी use कर सकते हो. Another aspect is that they also came with a body called IAEA, that is International Atomic Energy Agency, and it said that this body will go to all the non-nuclear weapon state, जो भी उनके facilities होंगे peaceful purpose वाले, power generation, and they will go and they will check the power plants that वहां पे बॉम्ब बनाने का काम तो नहीं हो रहा है. Because ये जो आपका न्यूक्लियर, जो आपका जो मान लो एक न्यूक्लियर थर्मल रिएक्टर है, if I enrich it, right now it is 3% of nuclear maybe this thing, इसको enrich कर दे 20% तक तो ये न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब बन जाएगा. Okay, so IAEA will go across to every country wherever there is a problem. जिस कंट्री में भी न्यूक्लियर जो है रिएक्टर्स बन रहे हैं वो वहां पे जाएंगे, and they will force the countries that they can use only for peaceful purpose. And the idea behind this non-proliferation treaty is to ensure that कि कोई भी country जो non-nuclear weapon state है वो nuclear weapon ना acquire करे. India did not sign in the first place, and when eventually India tested in 1974 and then in 1998, Pakistan also was able to acquire with the help of China. चाइना ने भी, चाइना के हेल्प से पाकिस्तान ने एक्वायर कर लिया, तो चाइना ने पाकिस्तान ने भी बाद में टेस्ट किया 1970, 1974 में, 98 में. Israel got it through the help of America, and North Korea again got it from the help of China. So these four countries today are officially not part of the NPT, and hence India has got a disadvantage. अगर हमें न्यूक्लियर मटेरियल चाहिए होगा तो हमें नहीं मिल पाएगा. And IAEA जो है, अगर हमको मिलता भी मटेरियल, so IAEA can come in our nuclear reactors or power plants, and they can check कि हम nuclear weapon बना रहे हैं कि नहीं बना रहे हैं. So ideally we cannot make that. But remember, it is like there is a different rule for 5 countries and there's a different rule for other countries. So India says that this is very bad and this is called nuclear apartheid. ये nuclear apartheid hai. Okay, we would not accept it, and that is why India opposed. And Indira Gandhi, when she became the prime minister, she said that we will oppose it and we will take a nuclear weapon because I have to show to the world that we also have the capabilities. And when India tested in 1974, हमने पहला छोटा सा टेस्ट किया था, and when we tested Operation Buddha, so when we tested, we showed to the world we have nuclear capabilities. Pakistan ने भी बाद में तुरंत टेस्ट किया because Pakistan got it from the other country, and but India was able to do it on its own because we had the resources and technology as well. We were able to develop the technology. So that is the reality that we are witnessing today, and so that is the reality. Now what has happened, that when the country started stockpiling weapons, so there are only 5 countries mainly, the top 5 countries you can see: Russia, US, China, France, United Kingdom. These are 5 countries. But arms race was only between 2 countries, that is Russia and USA, that is USSR and USA, and they started stockpiling weapons. In order to counter that, in 1970s or 80s, they started a treaty called START Treaty. Or START Treaty mein they said that let's reduce the nuclear weapons, because even today more than 90% of weapons hain unhi ke paas hai. So this report is telling about what is the level of nuclear stockpile, and right now China and Russia and US have the stockpiles of nuclear weapons, और ये चाहते हैं कम हो, इसको धीरे-धीरे कम किया जाए. But remember, Russia and USA have a problem of their own because they are still confronting each other. So, but what this report says that now the number has come down from from the last year, the stockpile, because ये जो nuclear weapons हैं इनको maintain करने के लिए भी बहुत resource लगते हैं. Maintenance is also very costly. So USA is definitely very strong economically, but Russia is not so strong. So eventually they are trying to reduce that, and now we do not have a Cold War what happened in 50s and 60s. So this report is just showing that now it's a Swedish think tank, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, and it has showed that now we can see it provides data recommendation based on open sources, policymaker, researchers, media, and interested public, and it is telling about that how the nuclear weapons are reduced since the last year. But वो बहुत partial numbers that have changed. Okay, so see, Preeti has a question. Even the USA has a power of 5,000 plus. See, Preeti, it's like an arms race. If you allow North Korea, for example, right now Iran is also working on it. So North Korea will have. Then you have Saudi Arabia will have. Brazil will have. So it's like in future everybody will have. So we will not allow North Korea also to have. Also, North Korea has a problem with South Korea, and South Korea is an ally of USA. So if the North Korea is able to acquire nuclear weapon, they will hit North Korea, and if North Korea is hit, so USA, since it's a USA ally. Similarly, there's a Japan also. North Korea is ruled by a communist leader, which you already know his name. Is like a be a little mad person. So he wants to. So USA is trying its level best to ensure that North Korea reduces its nuclear arsenal, because that will lead to arms race, and it is also might impact the the ally of USA, King John or something like that. So it is not about it was not about numbers. It is about having the nuclear weapon altogether. Let's not have nuclear weapons, because जैसे मान लो Israel के पास हो गया. So when Israel will have, Iran will also have, because Israel will have a problem. Then you have Saudi Arabia will also have, because Iran and Saudi Arabia also have a problem. So everybody will have a nuclear weapon. So we do not want the nuclear weapon to spread altogether. No. India did not, get help from anywhere. India was able to develop the nuclear technology, by itself. We were strong. Okay, so India was one of the first countries in the world which started the nuclear program, but only for peaceful purpose, TC. Okay. So nuclear weapons, nuclear arsenals are in the rise in the neighborhood. China is in the middle ground of modernization, and so there are few numbers. Pakistan arsenal has also increased. Both India and Pakistan continue to have larger arsenal than India. So that is a concern for us. It just shows that maybe Pakistan has more nuclear weapons than बट इवन टुडे 90% ऑफ द ग्लोबल न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स आर विद. सो ये रिपोर्ट ये बता रहा है कि न्यूक्लियर स्टॉक पाइल इतना इतना है और इतना जो है कम होना चाहिए. ओके. Okay, so you can read the information. Now this is again the START treaty which I said. So the START treaty was between, START का full form है Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. This was signed between USA and Russia, and the idea was to reduce the nuclear weapon. So ये treaty चला and they actually reduced the numbers. But this treaty is going to end, and hence we want to create a new treaty. Okay, because जो new treaty है वो end हो जाएगा 2021 में. So हमें एक और नया treaty बनाना होगा. But USA and Russia, you can say, are still not on the same page in terms of how the new treaty will come up, and they want China also to be a part of that. So अंकित का सवाल है, सर इंडिया के पास जो न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स है वो इलीगल है. अंकित, who defines legal or illegal? Okay, there is no definition of legal or illegal. The nuclear weapons which India has not signed. India has already said that, see, the nuclear weapon that we have is for our own security, and it is not about legal or illegal. The whole world has a problem with that. Okay, to hell with you, because we want to secure our border. We want to secure our from a very unstable country like Pakistan, and of course rowdy with rowdy like China. So we want to have our nuclear weapons so that tomorrow if there's a problem, at least we have a weapon with our place. Okay, so it will give. India does not want to use the weapon. So ये illegal legal वाला concept नहीं है. In fact, India has not signed NPT. अगर India sign करता तो illegal होता. But India did not sign the treaty at the first place. World wants India to give up nuclear weapon, but now that phase has passed. So phase चला गया. Now India, they have accepted India as a, but in the definition of nuclear weapon state या nuclear weapon country, वो नहीं मानते कि India एक nuclear weapon है, because as per NPT treaty, India उस कैटेगरी में नहीं आता, because India has not signed the NPT treaty. Okay, I hope you got it right. ठीक है, तो अभी यूएसए और रशिया में के बीच स्टार्ट जो है ट्रीटी था, जिसको वेपन्स उनके जो न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स उनको कम करना था. न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स स्टॉक पाइल्स हैव टू बी रिड्यूस्ड, एंड नाउ दिस न्यू ट्रीटी आल्सो वाज साइंड एंड दैट वुड एंड. सो नाउ हाउ दिस न्यू ट्रीटी विल बी देयर, उस पर एक क्वेश्चन मार्क उठ गया है. And what USA is saying that China should also be a part of the discussion, but China is refusing because deadlock is there, and also US is led by a president called Donald Trump, who is so unstable that he does not know what he'll say today and what he'll say tomorrow. So that is also a problem. So this international treaty renewal might not happen. Okay, so let's see how dynamics will change. So Russia and US have already announced extensive plans to replace and modernize the nuclear holders and delivery system. Both countries are also given new expanded roles for nuclear weapons in their military plans and doctrines, which marks a significant reversal of the post-Cold War trend towards gradual marginalization of nuclear weapons. So India has said that we will keep it, the nuclear weapon, but that is for strategic purpose. Okay, so Miriala has a question. Does USSR support India for advanced weapon? Does USSR support India for advanced weapon for China? Well, nobody supports nobody. Yes, Miriala, nobody is nobody's friend. Okay, so this is now international politics. So they will only support you if they feel that you are helpful in some regard. Okay, so that completes this report. You can read it. If there is a confusion, we'll take it. There's one more news on pangolin. So what is a pangolin? Pangolin is called ant eater. Okay, and ant eater. And it is a it's a very shy introvert kind of mammal, you can say, and it has a very strong scales, okay, very strong scales. And basically it was said that COVID-19 got spreaded. There was a news also that COVID-19 came from pangolin. So suddenly there is a demand for killings of pangolins started happening across the world, because pangolins are mostly found in China and of course in India and maybe other neighboring countries. So the killings might not happen. And also in the traditional Chinese जो medicines है, they are using, they say that scales, ये जो उसका scale है, जो cover है, वो use होता है pangolin का. So the killings happens for this also, and they are sold very costly. Up to एक pangolin का cost होता है 1 crore rupees. 1 crore up to multiple crores can also happen depending on the kind of pangolin you have. So now what China has said that pangolin is the highest level of, they have given highest level of protection, and remove the scales of endangered animals from list of approved traditional medicine. उन्होंने कह दिया कि जो scales हैं ये traditional medicine में अब they are no more, they cannot be used anymore, and the data, there's no data and fact to support that. Okay, so because that will kind of reduce the killing of, और उनका जो ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन या वाइल्ड मीट के लिए भी उनका डिमांड है थाईलैंड में या फिर मे बी वियतनाम में, चाइना में, so का killing जो है तेजी से बढ़ गया है, so they want to control that, and that is why they have given highest protection in their laws. Okay, so there is a body called IUCN, and this IUCN एक red list निकालती है, and in this red list जो भी हमारे फ्लोरा या फौना होते हैं, फौना मीन्स एनिमल्स, एनिमल लाइफ, जो एनिमल किंगडम जो भी होता है, so they give, so you have a endangered means there are only few thousand left. Okay, so they need to be saved. Then critically endangered, maybe only few hundreds are left. Okay, so this is an endangered animal, which means that pangolin might die in coming years if we don't protect this animal, because it is very important for our safety also. So India is home to 2 species of pangolin. So Chinese pangolin is found in the northeastern India, Indian pangolin distributed in the other parts of the country as well as Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Pakistan. India में protection, और remember this fact is very important for prelims point of view. ठीक है, क्या है? Both the species are protected and listed under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. मतलब इसको आप मार नहीं सकते. If you kill the pangolin, you will put behind bar. Okay, and there is a international agreement है, body है, आप environment ecology पढ़ोगे, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. तो अगर इस कन्वेंशन को आप कंट्री ने साइन किया है तो आप जो इंडेंजर्ड स्पीशीज है उनको आप बचाओगे, यू विल प्रोटेक्ट देम. सो इंडिया सो इट इज आल्सो इन द अपेंडिक्स 1, दैट मींस इट्स अ हाई डिग्री ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन. और इंडिया के जो डोमेस्टिक फॉरेस्ट लॉज हैं वहां भी पैंगोलिन को आप, यू कैन नॉट किल पैंगोलिन बिकॉज और एल्स यू विल बी पुट बिहाइंड बार. ओके, सो commonly called as scaly anteaters, the toothless animals are a result of millions of years of evolution. Okay, and they are threatened by big carnivores. They usually curl into a ball. The scales defend them against gentle attacks from the predators. And pangolin meat is used in delicacy in China and Vietnam. Okay, so जिनका scales है उसके अंदर keratin होता है. Keratin is a kind of protein, and it is believed in China that it improves lactation. यानी mother का milking वो improve करता है, promote blood circulation, blood जो clots होते हैं उनको बचाता है. तो that is why it is used in those. So China has now said that it has no such scientific proof, and hence people should not use it. So health benefits are not proven. So it is in news because of that. तो आपको pangolins के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. Why they are most trafficked animals? Because they are used as a traditional Chinese this thing. और उनका illegal export से होता है, अफ्रीका से, all areas से होता है. And it might cost, its scale anywhere can cost between 30,000 to 1 crore for a single animal. Okay, and it is a protection. इसको प्रोटेक्शन नहीं मिला है कन्वेंशन और इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड ऑन इंडियन स्पीशीज में. सो देयर इज अ ट्रेड बैन. उन पे ट्रेड बैन है, आप उसका ट्रेडिंग नहीं कर सकते हो इंटरनेशनली. सो इफ एनी कंट्री, एनीबॉडी इज फाउंड कैरिंग द स्केल ऑफ दिस, तो क्या होगा? यू विल पुट बिहाइंड बार, आपको जेल में डाल देंगे. ओके, सो दैट इज इट. सो चाइना डजंट इम्पैक्ट पैंगोलिन ट्रैफिकिंग. वेल, ओनली टाइम विल टेल. सो यू कैन रीड दिस. ओके, इंडिया में लोकल ट्रेडिंग होता है, बट चाइना में ट्रेडिंग होता है पैंगोलिन का, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे हैव पुट अ ban here. Okay, then we have a news called Hilsa. Hilsa is a very famous fish. It is also called as Machar Rani, that is queen of fish. And bumper eel happened. So you need to know what Hilsa is. Okay, so IUCN status is least concern. It is a news, that is why you know least concern मतलब tension नहीं है, आपको जितना खाना है खाओ. Okay, it is very popular and sought after food fish in the Indian subcontinent. It is national fish of Bangladesh and state symbol of West Bengal and Tripura. Okay, so that was in news. So that is why you need to know. इसमें ये part बहुत important है, IUCN status. So ऐसा UPSC में क्या करेंगे? They might put like Hilsa, okay, and they might put endangered. Okay, or they can put pangolin critically endangered. So 1, 2. So you can write 1 is correct, 2 is correct, or 1 and 2 both are correct. So both are incorrect. Okay, so Hilsa is least concerned and pangolin is critically endangered, not critically endangered. So they can UPSC में ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. तो whatever जो भी आपका कोई भी फ्लोरा या fauna, flora means flowers and fauna means any wildlife, animal, mammal, any, तो अगर उससे जुड़ा कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन आ रहा है environmentally, so आपको उसको पता होना चाहिए, because UPSC can give MCQs on them. ओके, इंटरनेशनल एटॉमिक एनर्जी एजेंसी, ये इसका मैंने अभी डिस्कशन किया था, एंड अभी ये फिर से न्यूज में है. व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ IAEA? IAEA इज अ बॉडी which is basically tries to control the nuclear weapons spread, and they have an authority where they can check the nuclear plants, and the idea is that nuclear plants should only be used for the peaceful purpose. वहां से बॉम्ब नहीं बनना चाहिए. And why it is in news? Because ईरान के कुछ प्लांट्स हैं जहां पर एक कंसर्न उठा है that Iran might use it for nuclear weapons tomorrow. Okay, so US nuclear watchdog IAEA governing body began meeting as row brew over Iran's refusal to allow access to two sites where nuclear activity may have occurred in the past. So वही डिबेट चल रहा है पूरा पूरा. Where TC, now there is a law, not about we don't know about earlier, but now there is a law. Okay, so there is a concern. अब ईरान का क्या इशू है? You all have time, right? आज क्लास थोड़ा एक्सटेंड कर दें. Everybody is okay with that? Should I extend the class by 10-15 minutes? I'll take other topic, जो current issues का topic है मैं कल ले लूंगा. Is that okay with all of you? Is that okay with each one of you? Okay, fair enough. ठीक है. So मैं थोड़ा सा आपका ईरान का और यूएसए का हिस्ट्री थोड़ा समझाता हूँ आपको, एंड वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग हिस्ट्री. सो हुआ क्या था? Why this conflict is coming up? So you need to understand the background. So what happened from the period of 1950s till late 70s, okay, up to 1979, Iran was ruled by a Shah of Iran, and Shah of Iran was ally of USA. He was a friend of USA, and Iran had a lot of oil, okay, and so that for that reason, USA सबका दोस्त था. जहां भी oil था, USA was a friend of every country. So Shah of Iran was ally now, but in Iran there was a Muslim clergy group which was against, and they felt they hated USA. And suddenly, with a period of time, jo Shah of Iran the, they became corrupt and they were towing the line of USA. So in 1979, anti-US sentiment became so strong in Iran because for the same reason that USA is exploiting Iran, that there was a Iranian revolution. And this Iranian revolution was Islamic revolution. And what the people they did, they attacked the embassy of. There's a movie called Argo. Kabhi mauka mila dekhna. Okay, there's a movie called Argo. You can note down. So they attacked embassy of America in Iran, and Shah left. वो रातों रात भाग गए in America, and they attacked the embassy, and some people, they took control of all the American embassy people, and eventually that deadlock happened, and काफी time laga, and after a few months of negotiation they were freed, and that led to a culmination of a new government in Iran that was a Islamic government. Iran is mostly a country which is Shia country, so it is a Shia leader of the Shia. So leader of the Shia of the whole world. Okay, so Shia, so it's a Shia and Sunni. So Muslim have two sects, Shia and Sunni. Okay, so they have two sects. They have a basic belief system. Again, that I'll explain later what is the basic difference between them. So they have a two sect, like any religion can have multiple sects. So Iran is a country which is mainly led by the Khomeinis or Ayatollah Khomeinis or the leaders of Iran. They are Shia, and they are Shia leaders of the whole world. So after this attack on embassy, USA and Iran had a very troubled relationship. Problem started when Iran, and what USA did, that USA did everything to put ban on Iran, embargo on Iran. Iran is an oil-based economy, and because of oil-based economy, Iran wanted to explore or increase their income, but because of the control of USA, and because USA is controlling the other part of the world or other countries, so Iran is a very in a difficult situation. But the Iranian population, the leader, they always stood against USA. If there was a football match between Iran and America, that used to be spectacle across the world. So that the problem and confrontation of Iran and USA started in past few decades. Problem started when Iran leadership started thinking of nuclear weapons or nuclear, you can say, they said that we are using for peaceful purpose. But America got suspicious. America said no, they might make nuclear weapon. Iran also has a problem with the Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is the leader of Sunni population. So Shia and Sunni have a own conflict because of their difference between the who would lead the Prophet Muhammad after the Prophet Muhammad. So there is a basic difference between the Shias and Sunni, and that is the origin of the conflict between both the group. Across the world, the Muslim population 90% are Sunnis and 10% are almost Shia. So Shia Sunni population is led by Saudi Arabia, and Shia population is led by Iran. So Iran and Saudi Arabia also have a problem. So America feels that if Iran ke paas nuclear weapon aayega, so Saudi Arabia will also have nuclear weapon. Similarly, inka jo common ek enemy hai wo hai, though they are never together, Iran and Saudi Arabia. So every country in the world, there is a Shia and Sunni population. So wherever there is a conflict of between Shia and Sunni, Iran will support the Shia population, Saudi Arabia will support the Sunni population. So that is also a problem. Now, America wants that Iran should not have nuclear weapon, because if Iran has a nuclear weapon, Saudi Arabia will also have a nuclear weapon, and then more countries will have, and there will be arms race. Israel, now remember, Israel, has said that they do not have a nuclear weapon, but as per various reports, Israel has also nuclear weapon. Now, Israel, what is the problem with Israel? So they have an old conflict of Jews and Muslims, and also Israel have a conflict with Palestine. And Israel is the only country surrounded by all the Muslim countries, and they have an old conflict going on since the Second World War, post Second World War, when Israel was established there. So वो एक अलग history है. So this is the problem. The problem, the nuclear side of Iran, is that when Iran is doing something for peaceful purpose, America is saying that you are not doing for peaceful purpose, rather you are trying to make nuclear weapon. So all the nuclear facility of Iran should be under the inspection of IAEA. Then this problem was supposed to be resolved, and there was a Obama wanted to solve this problem. So Barack Obama, Iran, and other European nations, they came together and they signed a landmark deal in 2015. And this landmark deal said that Iran can continue its nuclear program, but only for peaceful purpose. And there will be no control or embargo on Iran. कोई ban नहीं होगा उस पे, because they can send their oil to across the world. Because India से भी problem Iran को हो जाता है. If there is a ban of USA, India cannot purchase oil from Iran. So these are the problems, and hence India wanted a solution for all this. So landmark deal happened, between Iran and the world power, which was led by USA under Obama. And now they said that you can have peaceful purpose, but your आपका जो भी nuclear site होगा, they can be inspected by IAEA. Iran agreed on that. But when Trump became the president, he said that I do not agree this agreement. ये agreement को मैं accept नहीं करता हूँ, because Iran will, he said that Iran is one of the evil country and they will continue what they are doing. So he became critical, and then this landmark deal, he took back the landmark deal. And even though the other countries opposed, America saying that you are doing wrong thing, but America is superpower, so whatever America says, eventually it happens. So right now there's a huge ban and embargo on Iran over whatever they are doing it, and that is why IAEA has been critical of Iran, because they felt that in many of the plants वो क्या कर रहे हैं, वो enrichment कर रहे हैं. Enrichment क्या है? Enrichment of nuclear facility, nuclear material. और जब nuclear का enrichment करोगे तो ये बाद में bomb बन सकता है. So all the nuclear facility might turn into an enrichment facility that might convert into bomb. So into bombs. So that IAEA जो है उसी को चाहता है कि हम लोग check करें, and that is why it has been used. So these are the concerns that we are witnessing. Okay. So latest row comes across the background deal. IAEA passes the resolution critical of Iran. It would be the first of its kind. अभी तक IAEA ने ऐसा कहा नहीं है कि that they might be using it, but IAEA wants access to their plants. Okay, and Iran is refusing now. Okay, so IAEA is international organization seek to promote peaceful use of nuclear energy to inhibit the use of any military purpose nuclear weapons. IAEA has a headquarters in Vienna, Austria, and it is an autonomous organization. और उसका purpose ये है that nuclear energy should only for use of peaceful purpose, and you should not use nuclear weapons. So that is the function. You can read the function also. Okay, the function is development of peaceful technology, safeguard against misuse of nuclear technology, nuclear materials, nuclear safety, and all these things are there. Okay, so that completes. So if I come to the top of this, I'll stop the lecture now and I'll take it in the okay. So I've taken this Ladakh, I've taken this, I've taken this. So I will take these two topics tomorrow. These are small topics and the first two topics. So I'll take 30 minutes. First 1.5 hour will be for the class, and then 30 minutes will be for current affair. Okay. So I'll stop here.